Thank you very much for joining us. Muslims all over the world have started preparations for the Ramadan fasting. And fasting during the month of Ramadan is one of the pillars of Islam. The fasting usually commences after sighting the crescent, which must be confirmed and announced by the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar. What is the significance of this very important month in the life of a Muslim? This and more other questions will be answered live in today's Panorama from NTA Kaduna Network Center. I am Muhammad Umar Ajingi. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has made commitment to continue implementing policies that will increase investors' confidence in the country in order to speed up the country's economic transformation. This was when he inaugurated the GB Foods Tomatoes Processing Company with a capacity to process 620 tons per day at Ngaski local government area of Kebbi State. The report.
Ngaski, a town of predominantly peasant farmers located more than 300 kilometers away from Birnin Kebbi, is one of many agrarian communities in Nigeria that is blessed with fertile land suitable for the production of this critical food item, tomatoes. Sitting on this 2,000 hectares of land in Ngaski is this food processing company that is harnessing this natural endowment for economic prosperity. President Bola Tinubu, represented by the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, reaffirmed government's responsiveness towards making foods affordable and available to Nigerians.
Here we have seen the largest of their operations anywhere in West Africa and Africa as a whole. So this is a sign that there is confidence in the country Nigeria under the able leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for foreign investors to come and invest.
GB Food, we are pleading with you in the near future. Try as much as you can to put your plant here so that you don't need to carry your product to Lagos and process.
Stakeholders, including the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, acknowledged government consciousness in its policies in agriculture.
That for those who think that is only bad story coming out of Nigeria, this is a very good story to tell. There are about 4,000, I understand, 5,000 people working on this farm. 70% of those who are working on this farm are actually women.
Nigeria is an investment destination. What we saw here, Nigeria can absorb thousands of it.
We believe that Nigeria's food security is non-negotiable. We all have to go in that direction. And GB Foods is committed to making this happen in partnership with other stakeholders.
The company assured more economic and health value through its products. From Ngaski, Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Kashim Shettima, has urged security agencies to intensify effort in bringing back the abducted students of Kuriga Primary and Junior Secondary School in Kaduna State. The Vice President was speaking during a meeting with the heads of security agencies, families of the victims, as well as the Kaduna State Executive Council members in Kaduna. The report. The Vice President's plane touched down at the Air Force Base Kaduna before he proceeded to the government house to engage with these stakeholders from the affected village, as well as families of the victims.
Leadership requires weathering the toughest of storms. Be rest assured that the President is equal to the task. The very essence of the existence of government is to secure the lives and properties of the citizenry. Yes, task the entire security architecture in the country to go all out and get back our kids safely.
He assured the people that the government, in collaboration with security agencies, is working tirelessly to ensure the safe return of the abducted students, appealing on the media to avoid sensational reportage on the unfortunate incident.
Our friends in the media, you are all stakeholders in the Nigeria project. Let us be much more circumspect. Let us be very, very selective in our choice of reporting.
We have been working with the community as well as the leadership of Chukun local government to ensure that we collaborate with the relevant security agencies to ensure that all the children return back home safely.
The Vice President urged parents of the victims as well as all stakeholders in this village to help the security agencies with all relevant information that will help them to succeed. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Murajingi, NTA News. The Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Kashim Shettima, has also said that leadership is about to show of empathy and support for the people. This was during a flag off and an empowerment scheme in Kafur, Katsina State, sponsored by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Political Matters, Ibrahim Kabir Masari. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibril reports that the Vice President Shettima assured Nigerians that the federal government under President Tinubu has people-oriented plans towards improving their living conditions. He said a restoration of peace in areas where there are security challenges is of paramount importance and commended Ibrahim Masari for extending the gesture to his people.
And I'm here to assure the people of Katsina, by extension the Northwest, of very beautiful plans that are in the pipeline for the people. The restoration of peace is of paramount importance, and most is, essentially, we have the Polar Coup scheme as a non-kinetic response to the banditry in the Northwest. The first phase will commence in the next couple of weeks. The sum of 51 billion naira had already been released. So be rest assured that the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is people-centric. He had the people at heart, and he's willing to work for the people.
Baro Jibril, chairman of the Northern Governors Forum and governor of Gombe State Muhammad Inuwa Yahya, among others, commended the donor for embarking on the empowerment scheme. Items distributed to the beneficiaries include sewing and welding machines, water pumps for irrigation farming, fertilizer, motorcycles, cars, and buses. In a bid to ensure the enforcement of law banning the exportation of food commodities in Nigeria, the Nigerian Customs Service has seized more than 120 trucks loaded with essential commodities across the Nigerian borders. The Controller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, Bashir Adewale Adeni, stated this during a walking visit to Kano and Jigawa Area Commands.
The Comptroller General Nigerian Customs Service, Bashir Adewale Adeni, was in Kano to meet with officers and men of the Kano Command. Part of his visit is to re-emphasize the federal government's ban on the exportation of food items, which aims to ensure self-sufficiency in food production. This will no doubt assist in reducing the pressure of increase in prices of food items.
The Customs Service, through its various organs, the Customs Area Commands, various border areas in Nigeria, alongside with the Federal Operations Units, working together with other agencies of government, I have made a seizure of over 120 trucks of essential food items all over the country.
Markets along border areas will be closely monitored in collaboration with other security agencies to achieve the desired goals. In Kano, Awwal Salisu, NTA News.
Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo has charged cadets of the 30th Assistant Superintendent of Corrections Basic International Course to be disciplined, patriotic, and diligent in the discharge of their assigned responsibilities in line of the prevailing security challenges confronting the country. He stated this in a message during the passing out parade of the cadets held at the Correctional Service Staff College, Barnawa in Kaduna State. Adamu Sunday reports.
After 6 months of rigorous training comprising physical and academics, weapon handling and tactics, leadership, drill, among others, the 240 cadets, including 5 contingents from the Republic of Gambia, are now ready to practically put into practice what they have learned and ensure all the custodian centers are secured and safe. They are enjoined to be exemplary in character and conduct by shunning any practice that will jeopardize the security of the custodian centers, by implication the Nigerian people.
This occasion is coming at a time when concerted efforts are put in place by the federal government through the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, to address the security challenges bedeviling our beloved nation. Hence, your dedication to duty is highly required, as any act of indiscipline, trafficking, disloyalty, disobedience to constituted authority, or insubordination will not be tolerated.
Last year we had a team of 5 that came, and this year again we have a team of 5 that participated in this training. It would definitely impact on their performance.
The cadets are expected to be diligent and serve the nation to the best of their ability and ensure inmates are returned to society as better persons. Awards were presented to officers who distinguished themselves during the course on academic excellence, leadership, selfless service, marksmanship, parade and drill, among others. In Kaduna, Adamu Sunday, NTA News.
I will now go for some commercial breaks. Don't go away. Yeah, welcome back. Ramadan is a period of perseverance in total submission to Allah's command. Haruna Muhammad reports that on the benefits and religious acts to be observed in this holy month of Ramadan.
Ramadan, as the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, holds profound significance for Muslims worldwide. It is a period for spiritual reflection, self-discipline, and heightened devotion. The month of Ramadan commemorates the revelation of the glorious Quran to the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, making it the holiest month in Islam. Abdurrahman Hassan is the chief imam of FRC and NTA Kaduna Masjid. He encourages Muslims to adhere to religious obligations beyond abstaining from food, drink, and other physical needs.
Someone will be fasting and he wouldn't have anything of reward except the hunger and taste. You know, he had during the day. Because why? He didn't guard his mouth from saying what is not right. He didn't guard his ears from hearing what is wrong. He didn't guide his eyes from seeing what is prohibited in Islam. So one has to make sure that all these things are guarded and then added to the abstinence from eating and drinking in the month of Ramadan.
He also highlighted the essential role of charity and compassion in Ramadan. In Kaduna, Haruna Muhammad, NTA News.
And we have in the studio the Chief Imam of Kaduna Polytechnic, Jumaat Mosque, Sheikh Abubakar Sadiq Yusuf, to discuss on this very important holy month of Ramadan. You're welcome to the studio.
Welcome. Thank you.
As at this great month of Ramadan, yes. What is fasting during the month of Ramadan?
Yes, fasting in the month of Ramadan is a divine instruction from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just as it is embedded in the Quran chapter 2 verse 183, Well, the most exalted said, Ya alladhina amanu kutiba alaykum siyam kama kutiba alaykum tattaqun. O you who believe, fasting in the month of Ramadan has been prescribed unto you, just as it has been prescribed upon other nations that came before you, with the hope that you may be God-fearing. So in other words, the entirety of the fasting of the month of Ramadan, the focus is God-fearingness. In other words, piety, generosity, right? We aren't the first nation to be obliged fasting. Other nations that came before us are also obliged fasting. The only difference that might set in it might be the mode of how the fasting is done or the days, but it's the same thing. So therefore, all Muslims are obliged to continue getting themselves in proximity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, trying to pay His mercy, His forgiveness, and a host of other things that they are expected to do. In other words, it cleanses. There is that expectation that it cleanses the Muslims from all the darts, from the fights, from all the sins that they have committed before the month. But in as much as they are dedicated and God-fearing while performing the salvation.
Yeah, Sheikh, this is a month that comes in with bounties of blessings.
Yes.
Who are those eligible to fast in this great month of Ramadan?
Yes, those eligible to fast have those who are physically, sane, and then there is no any, bodily defect or sickness with them, and they are neither, sick nor on transit, nor in the course of a journey. In as much as a Muslim is physically fit and he's sane, then the fasting, and is matured, then the fasting becomes compulsory upon him.
Well, in this spiritual month of Ramadan, what are those things that Allah says the Muslim Ummah should abstain from? What I mean is, what are those things that have been prohibited on this great month of Ramadan?
Yes, the things that are prohibited in the month of Ramadan while fasting. Number one, you are in the period of the fasting, which starts from the appearance of the dawn to sunset. The Muslims aren't expected to cohabit with their wives during the daylight, and they are also, expected to eschew themselves from any forbidden act. Any forbidden act this is a collective word. Any act that is forbidden, the Muslims are expected to eschew and distance themselves entirely from it, because it's a month in which they are always expected to be seen getting themselves closer to Allah by constant recitation of the Quran, conducting the Quranic exegesis, that is tafsir, which is normally done in mosques, but they are not expected to let the month runs out while they are committing sins, right? The likes of, most of us think that it's only by eating or drinking or cohabiting with one's wife that vitiate a person's fasting. No, even things that come out from our mouth, right? It can vitiate on fasting. Yes, like backbiting, like gossiping, like speaking lies, they can end up, invalidating and vitiating our fasting. So we as Muslims are expected to eschew ourselves from it entirely.
As a finally, Sheikh, what is your advice to the Muslim Ummah, particularly in this great period that is coming, the month of Ramadan, particularly the traders?
Yes, my advice to the Ummah, particularly with more emphasis to the traders, is that they should fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They should have compassion, they should have mercy, they should have pity to those, their subjects. I mean, the citizens they are really suffering. And they should know that the Prophet ﷺ has, made a hadith. He said, all traders on the day of judgment are going to be resurrected as rebels, rebels. He said, except those who are truthful and just in their trading. So therefore, any trader that should continue inflating, skyrocketing the prices of food commodities that are normally, being used in this month of Ramadan, definitely he is not included in the dua and the prayer of Rasulullah, because the Prophet said, may Allah have mercy upon he that sells conveniently upon he that buys conveniently, upon he that has mercy upon the customers that come to purchase his items. So those that continue inflating the prices of their commodities, they aren't doing well, and they are making things to be hard upon the citizenry. And remember, the Prophet ﷺ said, anybody who does not have mercy upon people, Allah will also not have mercy upon him on the day of resurrection.
Sheikh, thank you very much for coming to educate us. May God give us these bounties of reward and blessing during the holy month of Ramadan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And funding inadequate number of qualified teachers, as well as low integration of information technology in education, are among the issues being discussed at a two-day retreat for members of the House of Representatives Committee on Basic Education and Services. Clement Bariki reports that the retreat in Uyo was organized by the Universal Basic Education Commission. His report and commission.
Seated in this hall are basic education stakeholders from the state and national levels, whose mission at this retreat is to discuss basic education implementation in Nigeria, issues, challenges, and way forward.
But human resources is a major issue that we need to address if we want to save basic education. We are responsible for ensuring that every child has access to quality basic education through proper legislation.
With that, a good foundation is nowhere we can build a better future.
The UBEC Act since 2004 had not been touched. It has been the same law that had and a lot of changes have taken place.
Statistics by the Universal Basic Education Commission shows that within the 2 decades of UBE implementation in the country, the program has recorded increase in the number of basic education schools, which stands at 171,027. Stakeholders are optimistic that this will increase once the outcomes of this retreat are implemented. Clement Barikui, NTA News.
Announce sports update. And that's our network Panorama. Thank you very much for watching. Stay blessed and goodbye.